Hey Amber Miners, welcome back to Amber News, where we share news of everything Jurassic, Paleo, and everything in between. Here are the three main categories: Jurassic news, Paleo news, and Amber Mine news. For the Amber Mine news section, we will use it as a way to update you on everything going on down in the mine, and how our different projects are going. Speaking of, if you want to keep up with everything going on down here, the best ways are to join our Discord server, striking that like button, and subscribing to the channel, and if you really want to feel special, donating to our Patreon. All of these will help us know that you like what you are seeing, and that you would like to see more. Also, please leave a comment, and if you don't know what to comment, share with us which story you thought was the coolest. Without further ado, let's get on to the news. Jurassic news. This episode is going to be focused on everything that we know about Jurassic World Rebirth. Specifically, we are going to be going over the different tweets that executive producer Frank Marshall has been tweeting out. For starters, we're going to be looking at this first image that he tweeted out. This one is on a beach out in Thailand showcasing a sunset. Next up, we have a behind the scenes of the production offices as they're filming. Note the medium-sized carnivore fence. The pole for it is right here, showcasing three different wire locations. Next up, we have a shot taken from one of his boats looking out towards the shoreline in Thailand. Not exactly sure what's going on in the background here, but we will see in a few months. Next up is another beach shot in Thailand. Next up is probably the crew hotel that's looking out towards the ocean, probably on one of his many breaks that he has during the filming of the production of the movie. Next up we have another behind the scenes. This one showcases, this is the truck that has been transporting him to and from the set. As you can see, there's dozens of other vehicles back there, probably shuttling people like Scarlett Johansson and the like to and from the sets in use for the movie. Next up, we have one of the more jungle shots, probably one of the abandoned engine locations. We can see what looks like a gas tank, probably nearby, with a gas station type set looking nearby. Not exactly sure what this is going to be, but probably one of the engine facilities left over on whichever island this is. I'm hoping personally that this is Isla Sorna. Next up is another shot from the crew hotel looking out towards the water, showing a beautiful sunset. We have moved locations. We are now in Malta. The tweet that went along with this says that he had been hearing rumors that there was a dinosaur black market nearby, obviously referencing the Amberclave black market that was seen in Dominion. Next up, another shot from the ocean, looking back towards the cliff. And here's the last picture from the Malta shoot, looking out towards the horizon with a beautiful sunset with a casino out in front. Now this is his Amblin office with the Jurassic Park iconic gates at the elevator and Life Finds a Way poster, obviously for photo shoots. I would love to have something like that as my backdrop. Next up is Elm Street Studios. Inside they're supposedly filming Jurassic World Rebirth. Anyone going for some ribs? From what I understand, this is supposed to be part of the Neo-Jurassic exhibit that is supposed to be showcased in the movie at some point. We have no idea whose bones these are, but rumor has it that these are non-fossilized, that these are the dinosaurs we know and love, being mounted on display in a museum. During the production of the movie, it was Frank Marshall's birthday, and so they cast and crew put together this cake for him. Next up, we have the engine facility that we've been hearing so much rumor about. This was probably going to be something like the worker village type feel. As you can see with the architectural elements, this is a classic example of brutalist architecture, which the Jurassic franchise is known for. InGen specifically used this, as we saw with places like the Visitor Center and the tunnel exit It has the very sharp, harsh concrete lines, but with the touristy areas, they had the adventure safari element brought in with the thatch roof. But being that this is an employee area, they didn't need to have the adventure element, so it's just left with the brutalist architecture style. I wonder what this is going to be. I cannot wait to see what additions this movie brings to InGen's lore. And lastly, this was the picture that he tweeted out on Friday, announcing that Jurassic World Rebirth had finished filming, at least initial filming, and it is a picture of a Jurassic World hat. Paleo News. The only entry we have into the Paleo News segment of our show is a piece of news from Mississippi. This article will be linked down in the description below. I'm going to be reading directly from it. Amateur fossil hunter Eddie Templeton usually knows when he's onto something. Having scoured creek beds in Mississippi since he was a kid, Templeton has made several stunning extinct mammal finds, including a mastodon mammal, numerous bones from a giant armadillo relative, and even a saber-toothed cat's foot bone. But his latest discovery may be the most unexpected. Templeton has been wading through around 3 feet of water in a creek in Madison County on August 3rd, when he stumbled across a giant tusk partially exposed from the mud bank. The conditions weren't great for fossil hunting, he said. The water had been blocked from draining downstream and there were no exposed gravel bars. So he hadn't anticipated making a find of any particular importance that day. Coming across the 7-foot-long tusk, which turned out to be completely intact, and sharing it with George Phillips, the curator of paleontology at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science, proved him wrong. Phillips confirmed the tusk belonged to a Columbian mammoth, a distant relative of the woolly mammoth. Columbian mammoths lived during the end of the Pleistocene epoch, making the fossil anywhere from about 11,700 to 75,000 years old, Phillips said. Amber Mine News. We're going to start off with our Amber News segment, discussing the new additions to what I've been calling the Amber Mine Model Project. Here is a list of all of the additions. The dwarf elephant that started InGen's journey. Barasuchus from the PS1 The Lost World game. More on this in the future. Giganotosaurus, specifically the one from Jurassic Park Warpath. This one is going to be a first of many, but I actually personally commissioned Luca for a saltwater crocodile, which is one of my childhood favorite animals. Next one is also another personal commission, the thylacine, for obvious reasons. Next up is the Datosaurus. Datosaurus is the sauropod that the bull from Jurassic Park 3 was feasting upon. We know that it was a sauropod because of the behind-the-scenes storyboards that show off the sequence of events that this scene was supposed to have. However, that we know that the actual prop that was used was a disused prop of a Parasaurolophus carcass, was originally made for the scrapped intro to The Lost World. Next up is a new Pachycephalosaurus skin, showcasing a red design, which we had recently found was from a toy that was originally made for the original movie's 1993 run. Next up is Rhamphorhynchus, which I believe comes from the Jurassic World Species Guide. The next two are some custom models that I had made. The first one is a Nile crocodile. The reason why I went into having this made I will show in just a moment. Next up is the American alligator, my absolute favorite animal from when I was a child. This next one is actually going to be a species that we have 2 subspecies skins for. Using the American alligator model, because it is close relatives, we have the Deinosuchus rugosus. This one is heavily based off of the Lost World PlayStation 1 game, using that Nile crocodile skin. Next up is the Deinosuchus hatchery, this skin is in reference to the Jurassic World species profile, which shows a green variant of the American alligator's blue. For the next one, we have a new baryonic skin inspired by the PlayStation 1 The Lost World game, which I consider the definitive Jurassic Park era version of the baryonic skin. And lastly, we have a green Carnotaurus skin. Last year, I had given a rather harsh opinion on Minecraft Live. If you would like to hear my opinions on this new one, I'll go into very little bit here, but if you would like, I can make a separate video discussing this. So basically, last year's, it just didn't feel right, I should say. This year, everything felt like the way that it's supposed to. Everything was included. This was a big community event. It felt like the community was a major focus of this. There were a lot of things that the community had created, inspired Mojang to be able to create new and better things. And I look forward to seeing what this new production model that they have, which there's going to be multiple Minecraft Lives every single year, and there'll be more updates coming out, which that's always great. Anyway, if you would like to hear my thoughts, let's just let me know down below. This is the second time I've actually had to record this whole thing, so I don't remember everything that I had said the first time, but we'll get into that more later. To end this Amber News episode, we wanted to announce that we are going to revisit the dark jungles of the Jurassic franchise in celebration of Spooktober once again. This year will be jam-packed with the usual spine-chilling subjects: the Troodon, the Velociraptor, and the Grebnidu. Plus, a few new ones brought to you from the twisted minds of Dr. Wu through the mysterious amalgam testing.